Welcome back to the garden, everyone. We're going to be starting some indoor seeds today. I want to start some of these plants inside so they have plenty of time to beef up before springtime. We're getting closer to the end of winter, so I think I'm going to go with 2 tomato plants. We have the Cherry Buzz and a slicing tomato. And then 2 pepper plants, early jalapeno and bell pepper. I got these new trays, they're kind of cool. A little more heavy duty than like the kind of disposable black plastic ones. And they have this bit that pops up at the bottom. We'll see how they work. This is potting soil that's specifically made for starting seeds. You don't want big stuck together clumps of compost. If you're ever unsure of how deep to plant a seed, you could always do it based off of the size of the seed. Usually smaller seeds want to be closer to the surface and bigger seeds need to go a little bit deeper so that they can stay wet and have time to germinate. These are all pretty fresh, so I think I'm going to just put 2. Usually I'll put 3 or 4 just to make sure you get something in every bit, but I'm also doing this maybe a little bit earlier than I should. I'm not exactly sure on the timing, but I can always plant more in a week or 2 if I feel like it was too early. Don't be afraid to experiment. I'm actually excited about this year. I got almost all, or I think exclusively, open pollinated or heirloom seeds so that I can start collecting my own seeds and have plants that grow true. All right, those are the peppers. This year I just decided to keep it simple and picked 1 cherry tomato and 1 slicing tomato, and I have I've grown a lot of tomatoes. I wanted to just focus a little bit more on other things I haven't tried as much. I'm sure I'll still have more tomatoes than I can eat. I like to just sprinkle a little bit new soil on top. Especially considering this soil is pretty dry. Once we water it, all of these cells will compact a little bit more and they won't look like they're overflowing anymore. I like to get it kind of to the overflowing level and then it gets to like a good level after you water it. Now that I've given it a pat down, we gotta get the elephant. The soil's probably gonna be a little hydrophobic, so okay, well first of all, don't water your seeds. You wanna keep those dry. Take your time watering. Give the water a chance to soak in. You could see it beating up on the top. Alternatively, you could water from the bottom, just sort of putting some water in the tray, and then it kind of has this holding tray underneath. But I like to water it from the top and let gravity do its thing. I think that sort of helps good soil contact on the seeds, which helps germination. Everything has its benefit. Watering from the bottom probably works just as well. I'll give this a chance to soak in, and then I'll know if I have the right amount of water when a little bit of the water has gone all the way through the bottom. There's maybe a little puddle on the bottom. You don't want the soil really sitting in water, but having a little bit down there will allow you to not have to water maybe every day. So you'll water, you'll have a little puddle, it'll soak it all up, some will evaporate out, and then 1 or 2 days later you water again. So the soil's never getting fully dry because the seeds definitely need to stay a little bit wet. But you don't want everything soaking wet because that's just how you grow mold, and the mold will eat your seeds and your plants. Ask me how I know. So we've got a little water down there, but not like totally full. It's just a small bit. Each cell is fully saturated. There we go, we definitely have full saturation. So I'm going to leave these near, this is a south-facing window. I think it's warm enough in the house for all of these plants to germinate in a good way. Thanks for watching.